Hello, friends. It's Tuesday. Let me turn on the chat to see and let me know. Leave me a comment when you get here so that I know I'm talking to people and not just blank air. So, hot, steamy, summer. I know I don't like summer. It's summer weather. It's typical summer weather, and I don't like it. I have typically never liked it, and I typically don't like it this year. However, you hear an air conditioning running in the background, which is a beautiful thing. I am coming to you from inside my sewing room, which has an air conditioner, while outside my sewing room, I have a brand new deck. I have stairs and a floor and railings. It's so exciting. And there's a new landing pad at the bottom. There's a cement step in the yard at the bottom. I have not had a deck with stairs in 5 years. A tree fell in September, which is next month. So 1 month shy of 5 years ago, my deck collapsed. My deck got hit as the rest of my house did. So I now have a beautiful deck with beautiful trim and beautiful stairs, which means occasionally my husband walks out the back door to take the garbage out. And it's weird. I'm like, why are you going on the deck? Because you only go on the deck to be on the deck. Because for 5 years, you couldn't get off the deck. So I'm very, very happy that I can do the stairs. I haven't done them yet. I should do that just for fun. But I do have to remember to lock the doors because before it was kind of like a patio. And I'm sure other people could have, if they worked hard, get up here and could get in my locks. But whatever. It's like, oh my word, someone could walk up the back. It's pretty exciting. Now, I was going to put a ramp on the deck, and I had an architect come and draw out the plans for a wheelchair accessible deck, but it would have gone up. My sewing room is on the far side of the house, and the ramp would have gone from the far side of the house all the way to the opposite side of the house and all the way back again. And my backyard is only 6 to 8 feet wide before it goes into the mountain, which is all rock. So it would take up the entire backyard. So I did not get a ramp in the back. I would have to do the stairs, but it does have railings on both sides. So we're thinking of options for the front of adding a ramp should I need one. But it's very nice. It's so pretty to look at. It looks like a real house. Let's see. Janet, hi. I'm so glad you survived my visit because you are online. By the way, I am a hurricane. Debbie with a Y is a hurricane. I was a tropical storm maybe 15 years ago, spelt the wrong way, but now I was a legit hurricane, and I'm sorry. That's not the way I wanted to visit my friends in the South. And it hit hardest in northern Florida, into the Carolinas. Sorry, I had nothing to do with it, I promise. And if I did come visit, I wouldn't bring that much damage and devastation. So I'm glad you survived. Madeline, hello. I'm glad to see you here. Having a deck is wonderful. It Not having a deck was really a princess problem because I have a house, I have a front door, but it's actually another exit to my house. So it is nice having it back and having it restored and having it pretty. So now we need to move the gas grill from the front porch where it's been for 5 years back to the back porch, and the table back to the back porch, which means I can put up my hammock again because my hammock has had nowhere to go for 5 years because the deck and the gas grill and the table have been there. So it'll be nice to have my hammock back on the front porch. And the deck when the bugs go away. Right now, bugs, sun. Let's see what else. Another comment. Joan, it's nice to see you in Shahola, Pennsylvania. I'll be driving by. My guess is you are central Pennsylvania, Shahola, eastern, central, south, somewhere in there. I'm going to be visiting with my mom next week, so I will be driving across the state of Pennsylvania diagonally. Let's see. Carol, hi. It's good to see you, neighbor. And Janet, the storm hasn't hit yet? Ooh, sorry. It's going to be a week of it, I guess. So sorry. So sorry. I apologize. I had nothing to do with it. But I'm sorry anyway. Madeline, you need a new deck too? It's a beautiful thing. Mine was probably original to the house. If not, it had been maybe replaced once. So The house is 50 years old, so I don't know how old the deck was, but it was in bad shape before it got hit, so it wasn't a huge loss. Hi, Carol. So it is very nice to have one project finished. And for us, it's just that it's the mental energy of getting the stuff done. Um, you know, finding a contractor, making the decisions, overseeing it, blah, 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 blah. We're tired, but I have someone in line now to replace the only bathroom the tree did not hit when it took out my house. Yes, precious time with mom. I get to have dinner with her and daily and check on her and see how things are going. So I have a contractor for the bathroom. I have 3 bathrooms in the house. 2 have been updated. Guess which one didn't get hit when the tree smushed my house? You're right, the 50-year-old bathroom. Now, the bathroom that is right behind that wall, right there, the contractor at the time said it was the ugliest bathroom he'd ever seen. And I'm like, you haven't seen the one upstairs, because the one upstairs is worse. That one was very ugly, but the one upstairs is old, ugly, falling apart and decaying. The one bath down here had Alphonse Mucha wallpaper, and it was in brown and gold tones with gold appliances, brown floor, gold toilet and sink, brown marble, brown Formica counter, and a brown floor, and those, and then a drop ceiling. It was bad, and people looked at it like, well, how could you live with it for that long? Well, I had 2 kids in college, is how I could live with it that long. And how could I live with the bathroom upstairs for that long? Finding a contractor. I've had contractors coming back out. And so now hopefully I'm getting a contractor and am looking at all of the really cool disabled bathroom fixtures. Might not be exciting to you, but it is to me. And it's a tiny little bathroom. So my shower is not as big as a bathtub. It's a little smaller, but it's not a square. So it's that in-between size. And the bathroom is only the toilet and the shower. The sink is out in the dressing room. So if you open the door, you block off the shower. But I need a rail on both sides of the toilet because I'm making a disabled bathroom. And it will block the other side of the shower. So have some things to do. But I found a drop-down rail that won't block the shower, and that's pretty darn exciting. So yeah, I get to do all that planning again. Mental energy. So that's pretty exciting. Getting a new bathroom will be fantastic. Then the only thing that at our house that won't have been redone since the tree hit the house was the floors. I was supposed to have the damaged wood floors refinished, but we were having trouble getting people in the house for a year, and then we just moved back in and said, heck with it. So we'll see what happens. Madeline, thank you for noticing. The quilt behind me is a cutie quilt. It is called Freeze Frame. It is on my website. It is 16 fat 8s plus the off-white squares in the middle and the little cornerstones here, and it's strip pieced, and then just some inner border and outer border. I did happen to make this one out of my 1.5-inch scrap bucket. I have enough to make another one. I have a lot of scraps, like a lot of scraps. And this was really fun. I made it because I knew I was recovering from my medical treatment, and I ribbon candied the whole dang thing, except for the free motion in the blocks right there. I still have to edit the video and put it up. That will be in as the Bobbin Turns. And then I think the next video I have going up will probably be a YouTube video that everyone gets to see. But everyone can see as the Bobbin Turns video, which is a peek over my shoulder at what I am quilting. So that is what I am quilting, and I really am very happy with the quilt. I do have a wedding quilt basted, as well as 1, 2, 3 quilts that are color block. I kind of had the stack on my my ST, my long arm ST stationary machine, and then I just threw the stack over. So I think I have like 5 quilts basted. One of them is the wedding quilt, and 3 of them are, at least 3 of the, oh, another one is a cutie quilt, and 3, so 2 cutie quilts and 3 color block quilts. It's good to be in a rut. Sorry, I just kind of knocked them over so they wouldn't be in the picture anymore because they were up higher than my head and blocked the quilt. So since I saw you last week, I left the next day to go teach in Connecticut. I was teaching at So Inspired in Simsbury, Connecticut, which was delightful. Beautiful shop, fabulous students, wonderful studio space. And for me personally, easy drive. It's only about 2 hours away. So I was there and we had all day intro to long arm class. Second day, we were doing rulers in the afternoon. We were doing free motion in the morning, rulers in the afternoon. And this was on a Handy Quilter van event. So the Handy Quilter van showed up with 6 long arm machines on 6 frames so that there were 2 people to a machine and it was really a nice hands-on experience. So that was great. However, Friday afternoon, free motion in the morning, rulers in the afternoon. And a storm came through, and it was one of those funky storms that has a little wind, shear winds or microburst or something, and it hit Simsbury and Granby, which is town next door. And by hit, I mean trees down everywhere, power lines down, roads closed, houses damaged. The power was flickering off and on. It was really interesting. So note, use a UPS uninterruptible power supply for all of your machines, because we had power strips, surge protectors, but we didn't have 6 UPSs for the 6 machines. We got lucky, nothing was damaged, but definitely invest in a UPS for your machine, because with the power flickering, the machines were flickering on and off, and had we been doing Pro Stitcher, we would have had no way to turn it off safely. It would have been icky. So good advice. The shop was fine. The shop kept power. Not for all of the employees at their homes, though. So it was a really interesting time. Let's see. Madeline, you have so many scraps and you don't know what size to make them. I make all of mine into 2.5 inch. I cut my scraps into yardage, which is anything larger than a half yard, fat quarter, fat eighth. So fat quarter 18 by 22, fat eighth 9 by 22. And then I cut 2.5 inch squares and 1.5 inch strips. That's all I keep now. And Nancy, I'm so glad you had the best time at the event. It was quite interesting getting out of there. It was an interesting storm. And I was rerouted going to my hotel that night. It took about 45 minutes to get to my hotel, which is normally a 25-minute drive, because I had to keep going around road closures. And I went by the Simsbury Airport. Now, the real airport near there is the Hartford, Connecticut airport. But the Simsbury Airport, it's just a little commuter plane airport, private plane type of thing, like little airport. And I got when I got to the hotel, which did have power because the storm didn't hit that far away, I was watching security footage at that little airport, and it showed it picked up a plane. The plane flew 300 feet and then crashed to the ground. So while I was picking up my dinner, you usually sit at the bar waiting, and I was watching the news, the Hartford news on TV, and I got to see news reporters in front of the crashed airplanes. And then on the way back to my hotel, I saw the crashed airplanes. So it was it was like driving through a war zone and no traffic lights and all of that. And then I drove the regular way the next day, and it was still a mess. So I'm just safety for everyone and sympathy, because I have had my house destroyed by a falling tree, and I am so compassionate toward any who have property damage, because no one expects it. You plan for it, you have an emergency fund, but it's always expensive. It's always aggravating. It always makes you want to cry. And it's very time consuming and really not how you plan to spend your time or your money. So it took us about a year. I think we've put the last touch. Well, it took us 5 years to rebuild the house. We just got the deck on, but I think we were done with most of the construction by May or June from September. And it was just a really long year. Getting the house sided and getting the new ridge beam up before the lumber shortages. And so my heart is with all of those in Simsbury and Granby, sorry, not Glastonbury, Granby, who are doing rebuilding that they did not intend to do, and those who are doing tree work. My solution for those who are doing tree work: wood burning stove and an axe. It's really fun to chop the wood, especially when you put your insurance company's billing notices on there as they are annoying you. Just smack the heck out of them while you're splitting your wood. It's a wonderful thing. Let's see. Hello from Kissimmee, Florida. I'm glad to see you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hurricane Debbie. I apologize. I wish I were visiting, and if I came, I would bring chocolate. I would not bring this much rain and wind, so I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. So what's coming up is I'm leaving again this week. So let's see, I left Wednesday, taught Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I drove home Saturday night. And so Sunday was resting. Yesterday was resting and a little work. And so far today has been paperwork, getting all of my stuff together for starting to get some stuff together for future events because I have to do, contract and hotel information and all of the handouts and notes and all of the emails. So this is one event that is done. I have a bunch more, and I've actually booked more. Someone had backed out of an event, so sorry, you're seeing my mess. Once that's been confirmed, I will put that in my newsletter of new events and Pennsylvania somewhere. So we'll see where that is. So yeah, it's just about an hour of paperwork, getting everything together, finding hotels. Annette, you only got rain? Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm so glad because, yeah, didn't want to be the hurricane. No, because hurricanes are icky. I've been in them. I didn't like it. I haven't been in a big Cat 4, whatever. Well, whatever the worst ones are. I don't know if it's 1 or 4, but tornadoes. I've been in a Category 1 tornado, but I've been in small hurricanes. Just not my idea of a good time. You know what's my idea of a good time? Reading a book, knitting, sipping a cup of tea. So I'm home today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and hope to get some sewing done and get some videos up get a video up for you and a newsletter out. And then next week I'll be talking to you from my sister's kitchen, where I am house sitting, dog sitting, and visiting mom while my sister's out of town. We like to have somebody nearby, just because mom doesn't drive, and she's 85, so I'll be there. It's a fun drive. Get some good books on. You can always post some good book recommendations of something to keep me going for 450 miles across the state of Pennsylvania. But that's what I'm up to. I am enjoying having, today is not that hot, so I just have the dehumidifier running in here because the humidity messes with my ability to breathe and makes my hair curly. But I hope you are all well. I hope I have more stuff to show you next week. Another quilt or another new pattern. I try to have one piece of content out for you every week. This week, it'll be this one. It'll go out before my newsletter is made. So I write my newsletter once the content goes up. The video is filmed. I just have to edit it. And as all of my videos are filmed on my home sewing machine. I stitch on a Handy Quilter Stitch 610. It's my new baby. I retired my 710 because she's very old and tired. I've quilted hundreds and hundreds of quilts on her. She doesn't owe me much. My 610 is delightful. She's a workhorse. And you'll get to see her in action on this quilt. I've made this quilt, hiccups, for my grandniece. And I made it with a bunch of grays and then a pink center. I made this quilt with Star Wars fabric in the middle for my husband, and that one is on the sofa in the living room. And a lot of the side pieces and the thread are orange, going for C3PO. So the thread is orange, and then the colors of all of these bars are colors of the different droids, because it was all the droids in the focus fabric. I think it takes 1 yard of focus fabric to do this quilt. So I chose to have them blank, but I've done this also with focus fabrics. I've done stars, like red and white stars with blue and white stars with red sashings. So it's kind of a fun quilt. All of the cutie quilts start with 16 fat 8s. So you need 16 fat 8s to do all of the sashings. You need, I think it's 1 yard to do the center blocks, another little bit of fabric to do these cornerstones and inner border, and an outer border fabric. So it's not a lot of fabric. So check out and see if you like any of the cutie packs that are available on my website. Freeze frame is available on the website, and good times. So I won't keep you because I don't have a lot to say. Have a great week. Survive the storm. Enjoy the weather if you can. Enjoy your deck if you have one, and take care of take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and happy quilting. I'll be back next Tuesday at 2:30 New York time.